now I'll solve another problem on thermal stress. In my earlier videos, already I told how thermal stress is induced in any material, and some of the key points has to be kept in mind before solving problem on thermal stress. One of the key point is, if a material is heated or cooled freely without clumping on both ends or without fixed ends on both ends, simply you are heating or cooling, then on that case the stress induced in the material will be zero. No stress will induce in the material. Now stress will induce in material because of temperature differences. Once the both ends of the material is clamped or fixed on both ends, then only stress will induce. Without restriction, stress will not induce because of temperature difference. That one you have to keep in mind. And if a material is clamped at both ends and then we are heating, the temperature is rising, then on that case the type of force which will induce in the material will be a compressive force, and the type of stress will induce in the material will be a compressive stress. If both ends of a material is clamped or fixed and then the temperature drop, you are decreasing the temperature, then on that case the type of force which will act on the material will be a tensile force, and the type of stress induced in the material will be a tensile stress. Now, by keeping all these things in mind, and one more thing also you have to keep in mind for solving problem on thermal stress, the free expansion or free contraction of a body or any material due to temperature difference can be calculated by using formula delta L is equal to alpha into L into change in temperature, alpha L into dt. So by keeping all these things in mind, you can start solving any problem on thermal stress. So now our problem is like this: a steel bar 40 millimeter in diameter and 5 meter long is heated to 60 degrees centigrade. So the rise in temperature is 60 degrees centigrade with both ends clamped. This is the point to remember. Both ends clamped. If both ends might not be clamped, then stress will not induce in the material because of the temperature rise by 60 degrees centigrade. No stress will induce if it is not clamped. But as it is clamped on both ends, automatically force will develop and stress will induce in the material. And in this case, both ends clamped, the temperature rising by 60 degrees centigrade. So the force will be a compressive force and the stress will be compressive stress. The question is, estimate the thrust. Thrust meaning is force exerted by the steel bar on the fixed clamps. So you have to find out force is equal to how much, P is equal to how much. Young's modulus of the material is given 210 gigapascal. Alpha value is given 11 into 10 power minus 6 per degree centigrade. So you have to find out force is equal to how much. That is the first part of the problem. That is the second part in this problem. That is the last line in this question. If the ends are yielded, the ends are yielded by 0.5 millimeter. Very important to note it. Ends are yielded. Now the ends are surrendered by 0.5 millimeter. So if the ends are not that much tight, it is clamped, but now that much tightness is not there because of actually the molecules, when the temperature rising, the molecules of the material, they'll push these clamped ends away by 0.5 millimeter. And automatically for this 0.5 millimeter, no stress, no force will induce in the material. Now the question is, what would be the thrust exerted on the material? So we'll go for solution. The data is given, length of the bar is given 5 meter, that is 5000 millimeter, and the diameter is given 40 millimeter. So from diameter we can find out the cross-sectional area, that is pi by 4 d square. So pi by 4 40 square is coming 1256.6 millimeter square, and the rise in temperature is given in the question 60 degrees centigrade. The alpha value coefficient of thermal expansion is given 11 into 10 power minus 6 per degree centigrade, and the Young's modulus is given 210 gigapascal, and that can be written as 210 into 10 power 3 Newton per millimeter square. So the problem is in two parts. The first part, there is no yielding of the fixed ends, no yielding of the clamped ends. So the clamps are very tight, so they won't allow the expansion of the steel bar. That is the first part. In the second part, it is surrendered by 0.5 millimeter. So for that, again, we have to find out force is equal to how much. So let us deal with the first case first. The free elongation of the steel bar can be calculated from the formula delta L is equal to alpha L into change in temperature. If we substitute the values, like alpha is given 11 into 10 power minus 6, length is equal to 5000 millimeter, and the change in temperature is 60 degrees centigrade. So the answer is coming, free elongation of the steel bar is 3.3 millimeter. Now, if the fixed ends or the clamped ends might not be there, on that case, the free elongation of the steel bar is equal to 3.3 millimeter. But because of the presence of the clamped ends, they won't allow the expansion of the steel bar by 3.3 millimeter. That means 3.3 millimeter compression will happen. Now, when the molecules of the bar are interested to go out of the fixed ends, these clamped ends or fixed ends will not allow the expansion, and they are applying a compressive force. That force we have to find out now. So to find out that force, what we can do, we can go for the formula delta L is equal to PL by AE and substitute the values. Delta L can be taken as 3.3 millimeter. P we have to find out. Length is 5000. Area is calculated already, 1256.6 millimeter square, and E value is given 210 into 10 power 3, and P is equal to, if we'll keep P on one side, all other things will take other side, then P is equal to 3.3 into 1256.6 into Young's modulus value 210 into 10 power 3 divided by the length is equal to 5000 millimeter. So the length is 5000 millimeter. That means only 3 zeros are there, not 4 zeros, only 3 zeros are there. So if we'll operate calculator, P is coming 174 into 10 power 3 Newton, or P is equal to, can also be written as 174 kilonewton. If no yielding is happening, then on that case the thrust, the force developed due to rise in temperature is equal to 174 kilonewton. Now we'll go for the second case. In the second case, the fixed ends or the clamped ends are yielded by 0.5 millimeter. That means the clamped ends, they're surrendered by 0.5 millimeter. That means for 0.5 millimeter free elongation, there will be no stress or no force will induce in the material. For the remaining change in length only, force will develop. So in that case, to find out the force is equal to how much, what you can do from your free elongation, which was actually already calculated 3.3 millimeter, from that you deduct 0.5 millimeter and the value is 2.8 millimeter. Because for that 0.5 millimeter, no force will induce, no strain will induce, or no stress will develop in the material. So deduct it, reduce it. So remaining value is only 2.8 millimeter. For this 2.8 millimeter, only force will develop. So I can equate delta L is equal to PL by AE and put the values. But now delta L you have to put as 2.8 millimeter, and the other values are same things. So P is equal to delta L into AE by L. Substitute the values, and P is coming now 147 into 10 power 3 Newton, which is equal to 147 kilonewton. That means when the ends are not yielded, ends are very tight, clamped ends are very tight, that time the force they are able to apply actually more on the material, which was actually 174 kilonewton. But when the clamped ends are yielded, they are surrendered, that means they are weak now. Because of that, only 0.5 millimeter actually these molecules, when they are going out, they are interested to go out because of rise in temperature, they are able to push the fixed ends by 0.5 millimeter And because of that, the force now acting on the body is less, which is equal to only 147 kilonewton.